What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Thursday, December 22nd, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Truly appreciate you all very much. Thanks for being here with me. I want to give a big happy birthday to my brother, Frederico. Much love, Freddie. I know we haven't talked too much this year, but yeah, I'll never forget the conversations we have had, and my Capricorn brother. So I appreciate you, and I hope that you tune in for this one and know that I feel you, bro. I got you, and I know you got my back too if we ever need it. And there is a brotherhood there that means a lot to me. So I'm wishing you the best, and happy birthday to you. Well, let's take a look at this chart. Ironically, I saved it at 1133, two master numbers, and 2222. So there's it just happened that way. I don't know. We'll take it as we go. We're in this dark moon in Sag. We're now in Capricorn season. We are going to get a new moon in Capricorn at 2:18 a.m. of Friday of tomorrow. At least 2:18, of course, on the West Coast. 5:18 in the morning on the East Coast. But we're on this build up today of this dark moon phase, closing out this Sagittarius cycle and really coming straight into this winter solstice energy, this Capricorn energy. So there is a lot of beliefs that in some ways doors have to close for doors to open. And I think that's a good way to look at this and to know that today could be very prominent in our lives for coming to that deciding factor. Capricorn has to make decisions. This is definitely being responsible, finding the integrity to know that there's more steps forward here, that it's definitely like walking the path. It's also kind of walking the walk. Capricorn has to put the work in, the effort in. It's not just the recognition in life. So this is a good day, I think, to understand where you're walking the walk and how you're talking the talk even, and to know that stories can change, chapters can change, beliefs can change, and they can all change in a way that gets you to initiate action and direction in a way that is linked to destiny. It's linked to your purpose. So I think we're at this point where, especially with Jupiter in Aries, still in square to the sun and the moon building up to that square today, but dark, is that we're identifying where the story is going, where we need to put more effort in, and what we need to step up for. And it really is, in a way, too, coming back to blazing sort of a trail here. Jupiter in Aries definitely does want to pioneer this story and this adventure. So the only way to do that is effort, work, being reliable. You got to show up for yourself. You got to show up for others. These are important things. So we have to find that integrity, to be on it, to show up, and to get things done. And I know it's the holiday season, and it's always funny to me that Capricorn is, in this holiday season time. Just ironic, I guess, in a way, because Capricorn's about work and destiny, and, this is the time where most people take big vacations, right? So it's kind of funny how that just plays out in society. But that's also where I think we're creating a story and defining rules. If Capricorn is rules, we're realizing, too, what beliefs we have that are self-limiting and that are not pioneering the direction of life that we want to go. So this is definitely kind of pioneer the trail, blaze the trail. The more you can step up and blaze your trail and stop limiting yourself and oppressing yourself, there's plenty of things in society that try to oppress. This Thursday is realizing a lot of that too is we do it to ourselves. And maybe even Mars retrograde in Gemini is starting to understand how we do limit ourselves in our own minds at the same time. And it's making that great sextile over to Chiron, which is stationed. It's going to come direct right before the new moon. So we're about to get, some of this energy online where really a lot of our wounds, but really a lot of our wisdom and a lot of these keys to our identification of this story are starting to move forward. That's very powerful and prominent too, even though Mars is still retrograde. There's definitely these different approaches and different understandings that are present in our life that we got to step up for, at the same time. We are seeing, of course, the moon square Neptune and Juno, of course. We're seeing Juno and Neptune get very close to each other. They're going to conjunct soon in Pisces. So I would say we are at a place of having to understand, of course, and be compassionate for other people's visions. We don't want to get too emotionally tied up in things because we can be let down. There can be disillusionment. It can be foggy. I feel like this energy, of course, kind of where it's at, I feel like society, the world, or people in our lives can try and gaslight us into believing whatever it is, whatever side of the spectrum or whatever it is that is going on in the world, that, this is the way. But is it your way? That's where we got to kind of come back to reality and find our own path and stay on our own trail and blaze that trail. And even with Jupiter in the semi square to Uranus, which is almost exact today, but it will be, through the rest of this week exact. It is being able to liberate yourself by blazing a trail, believing in yourself, and finding the connective forces in life and finding connective people in life. Very important, I think. And then the moon will also sextile Saturn in Aquarius, and I think that's great. Moon Saturn's a little rough. It's Capricorn season. It's a dark moon. But again, it comes back to the integrity, and even with the sun at the it's got that septile to Saturn too. It really is that integrity that is so important, that is about liberation, freedom, expanse, the journey, beliefs. Things can end so that we make room energetically for new beginnings to be initiated. And I think that's the big thing we want to remember today is there's so much that can be started. There's so many steps left ahead of us. And if we can stay on our game and we can stay in sort of a deeper soul understanding and mission here, and especially with Uranus trine Venus, or Venus trine Uranus is the proper way to say it, this is a revolutionary new way of creation. And it is liberation. And I think that it does come down to creating rule and boundary in some way in our life, but not of what we're told or taught or what we've been born into. This is about sort of the remembrance and the re-understanding of how free we are as souls to create, to relate, to find beauty and harmony. And it's just like we got to kind of shock. It's like shock therapy. But it's almost like that's where the insight comes through, is when we do shock ourselves, try something different. It doesn't even have to be that crazy. It's almost like little tweaks sometimes that make sense, that you feel just there's something here. And sometimes you won't know that there's something there until you try the little tweak or the little change. And then you see, yes, this will open things up, because it is sort of a little step that's dissolving something that was keeping more doors closed than open in my life. So, very interesting. Definitely getting ready for a lot of movement forward here. And especially with Chiron that's getting ready to come direct here, there's a lot of healing that we have done, and we're about to take the next steps on how much empowerment we found. And I guess that's the test, especially with Jupiter here amplifying this Chiron, is, are we going to limit ourselves, or are we going to take that sort of Aries Emperor energy and start to define the rules that really are of a higher law in our own consciousness, whatever that may be, as we come individually, and not oppress ourselves and not be oppressed either, because that's kind of where we hold guilt, and that's kind of where we think that something else is the reason that it's this way. Capricorn has to take responsibility for its life and its journey here. So remember that the more responsibility you take, whether emotional, physical, mental, the better off you're going to be at breaking down old systems or patterns that are limiting, and getting ready to see these things kind of play out in our life. So big energy today on this 22nd of December. Appreciate you all. If you do like these videos, please do hit the like button. It helps the channel out a lot, and I greatly appreciate it. And, I'm a Capricorn. It's my birthday month. It's on the 31st. So, if you want to If you want to spam my channel with likes, for my birthday, that's all I would ever ask of any of you. And I'd be grateful as always. So just throwing that out there. I am going to be recording, as I'm filming this, a year forecast with Natalie on her channel, Natalie Sadie. So coming soon, probably, I don't know, she's pretty quick sometimes with these edits. It might be out by the weekend. And I'll definitely share when I know it's out. But a year-long sort of horoscope discussion, talk. I'm sure Natalie will ask some good questions. And God willing, I'll have some good answers. But quite the year 2023 is. So I'm excited to see what comes up when looking at those charts. And, I have some opinions, but we'll see how they go. In the moment, I like to trust that that'll be what's potent, not necessarily what I plan. Even though I'm a Capricorn and I'm supposed to plan, well, I'm planning that I'm definitely going to show up and do this, and I'm going to bring all my soul's integrity to it, but I don't, I can't take ownership of what comes through in that moment. I will if it's negative, or, maybe if it's positive, but at the same time, is it mine? I don't know. Anyways, for today in the tarot, we got the Knight of Swords upright. Yeah, that's fast energy. Quick and fearless. And I think if our mind is quick and fearless, there's definitely movement forward here. And there's something about, like, it's not necessarily just the impulse, it's that it makes sense. It's that it's defining, the change in your life and the stimulation that we're looking for and the value of it. And I think that it's definitely about not thinking that we're crazy for having insight into what our future can be and where we can put, this forward momentum to. Ace of Swords. Lots of air. Double air. Yeah, I would say that there's a truth in the download and that you want to trust it. And when you do get it, I think that it is like, yeah, let's do that. Especially if it's a new energy. If it's kind of the same repetitive thing, I think we do want to kind of like question it and be like, am I really just jumping headfirst into this aspect that I've been doing over and over, and it's just not really bringing me what I want or making sense any longer? It's probably the new sort of, whoa, what's that idea? I'm going to try it. Maybe those are the things like, hey, go for it today. See what's in the bag. And the Justice card reversed. Maybe we feel like there's no justice in the action. Maybe we're at this point where we're so like, well, the last few thoughts I've had or ideas I had didn't work, so I don't know if I want to go into this space again. Like, maybe I'll just be let down and feel like there isn't any balance, or I'm not going to find it. I think we want to make decisions. It's Capricorn season. Definitely like come to the conclusion, because there is balance and there is justice, and maybe it's just not being scared to kind of initiate for what could bring that into our life. And especially the little tweak, I feel like that's the most important thing, is it could be just a tweak to something that could make all the difference. It could go from that all the way to a decent size adjustment. But that download that you've been getting and that hits again, I think it's important to try it. It might just bring something very special that you feel very in alignment with. So give it a shot today. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful Thursday, and I'll see you all for Friday's new moon horoscope tomorrow. Much love. Peace.